Yeah, back again in emoji unboxing. So today I will try to unbox another PC game or PlayStation 2 games that I bought from Marketplace. So basically I can actually download this game directly, but I don't know, just trying to. But it instead of downloading because I'm just too lazy to download certain files for some reason. Because yeah, it will actually decrease my storage even though I haven't want to play it yet. So I think this was a PlayStation 2 game since the unboxing length is not as long as the PC game that I will unbox it after this, which is around 15 minutes, so it's only around 9 minutes video. Because yeah, it is pretty straightforward. The game is in the ISO format since I don't have any PlayStation 2 yet, because I used to have PlayStation 2 Fat, which I bought in overseas when I was in the first or second grade of elementary school, and I eventually tried to sell it when I already confident to play a PC game, but never really. I'm quite regret it since it is actually, maybe it is pretty special PlayStation 2. I'm not sure because right now there's already so many PlayStation 2 that will sell, but I'm just not sure if it is actually have the same capabilities like the console that I used to have before or not. Because yeah, there's so many refurbished console which can only play from hard drive, so for some reason it's just make it like emulator. Because if you talk about PlayStation 2 emulator, this is already able to be played on the Android phones since I was in high school. So right now I think it is most likely able to be done in a common Android phone, any kind of current Android phone, even for, I'm not sure what the iPhone, because I used to do Dolphin emulators, which is for the, I quite forgot what is, from the GameCube, which is basically pretty much similar like an Xbox or Xbox Classic or PlayStation 2. So, but it is still pretty heavy for iPhone 6s Plus, so it is just very unplayable. Even if you talk about the PSP emulator running on those devices, it is still feel a little bit stuttering for some reason, but it is way much smoother than previously. I tried to test it on the iPhone 5C. So yeah, iPhone processor during that time is just not as fast as Android for some reason, but yeah. And if you talk about emulator in iPhone, it is basically not official as well, since you basically need to be download not from the app store instead. So you can either jailbroken your iPhone or trying to use some sort of development kit, development account, I'm not sure what it is. So it's kind of like you're developing the application itself from the source code. So yeah, that's the reason why it is pretty annoying. So I bought several games, but the one that I'm actually wanted to test is just the Scarface, The World Is Yours, since previously when I tried to bought it on the PC game, it still not work perfectly for some reason. I'm not sure, because I've been trying to move the sound files of those games to the previous Scarface game that I used to download before, but didn't have any sound. So from the 2010, which is very crazy since the game is already released from the early 2000s, and I've already tried to play it again on the PC since 2010, but until 2022, 12 years later, I'm just finally trying to mod it again in order to prevent the same thing. But it turns out it's still not work perfectly, especially for the first mission for some reason, which is pretty annoying because before the early offer prologue mission to be complete, you basically need to be restarted all over again. So yeah, I eventually decided to use the previous save game instead of the old ones, instead of the new ones. So I'm not sure whether in the PlayStation 2 it will be working perfectly or not, but I think it's obviously did, because console is just meant to be more stable than the PC game version. And I used to complete the game as well in the PlayStation 2. So, but I'm not sure there is a differences or not between the version, because at some point there are some PlayStation 2 games that kind of reduce its features in order to reduce its file size to be compatible with the DVD of the PlayStation 2. So I'm not sure about this Scarface, because even though I used to play it before on the PlayStation 2, but when I tried to do the training before the first mission, I never really done it before, I guess, but I'm not sure. Maybe I just forget, because the training is very short and simple, just to learn about the controls of the game. Because yeah, if you talk about the early or the prologue mission, it is already a little bit hard, unlike any other open world games in their first mission. So maybe that's the reason why. I think it is most likely like a Godfather 2 or Mafia 2 prologue mission, which is suddenly had a lot of enemies. But for the Godfather and Mafia 2, I guess it is have some backup from other AI in the same team, so we're not actually surrounded for some reason. While in the Scarface, even though we are actually should be a rich people during that time, but at some point all of our bodyguards seems to be already die. And I'm just not sure why the emojis are lagging. That's weird. Maybe the resources on my MacBook Air are just started to be overwhelming. I'm not sure. So besides buying Scarface, I'm actually try to bought the games that I never really played, such as the Guitar Hero 2021. So basically this is definitely mod games which contains newest Indonesian music inside it. So yeah, that's the reason why it's still technically released today. And the others is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tech Force GX. So basically I used to play this in the PlayStation Portable, which is pretty good game, but I'm not sure whether in the PlayStation 2 will be the same or not, since if in the PlayStation 2 there is only single games, while in the PlayStation Portable there are several sequels. So I'm not sure. And the other things, I think it's Gran Turismo 4 and Yakuza 2. So Yakuza 2 is actually not remaster, I guess, in the newer generation of console, and also the Gran Turismo, which is pretty memorable. So yeah.